You can play like you don't know, but I'm the motherfucking truth. Spitting real game and I'm clutching in the booth. We was both on one, now we fucking in the booth. She look me in my eyes, she say, nigga, you the truth. Bad and rude, body, we don't.
Okay, what's good, YouTube? Back with another video. Was finished up with the colors, but my boy decided he wanted the push button, so we go throw a push button in it. You know what I mean? So trying to figure out now where we can put the button, and man, we'll figure it out once we get there. But yeah, I'm about to install a push button kit on here, and I'll cut y'all back on once we get everything set. I'm gonna speed up the time on the video as far as taking stuff apart and wiring stuff up. But yeah, man, he want a push button, so shit, let's give him a push button. Let it go. Okay, YouTube, so you pull the ignition switch down, and this is pretty much right here the access that we need to wire in the push button. So yeah, I gotta do some power probing and doing testing of some wires just to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. And that's what I tell everybody when they get these push buttons. Like this is an A body. I'm pretty sure this is an A body. So G bodies, like most of them are all the same unless somebody changes something. And I ran into a few issues to where a person will call me and say, oh well, this ain't hooked up, or this ain't working like it's supposed to, or this ain't working, and then it end up being that whoever's car it was, they either messed with this, changed some wires, changed the color of the wires. So that's what I tell everybody. Like, I don't never go through wire for wire, because everybody mimics that wire for wire if I do a video or whatever, and then end up fucking something up, and it's like, damn, they trying to blame me. So what you need to do is get yourself a power probe, and you power probe your wires, so that way you can't be blaming nobody for some shit that you just trying to fucking do off seeing a video. So I keep this thing with me, because you just never know, especially if you're doing electrical. You always need one of these. I mean, this is more of a I ain't necessarily gonna say a fancy one, but this can give you power. It'll give you power and give you ground to any wire that any wire that you touch on. You can give power to it easily. With other like testers, you can't really do that. So it's always good to have power probes. Y'all can't, man. If y'all don't do nothing else, if you do electrical, I'm pretty sure you already got one of these. But for those that even want to learn with it, that's a good thing to have. The thing is probably like, maybe you can get them for as cheap as probably about $100, $80, $90. I think that one was like $150 or something like that. But that's what I use. So I pretty much power probe all my wires before I even start cutting anything, before I even start splicing anything. And that's gonna give you everything that you need. But you gotta be able to read a diagram. You gotta be able to read instructions. So that's all I can really tell y'all. That's as far as I can give y'all, because I can't do. I would do it wire for wire, but I'm trying to get this done, and I ain't doing it wire for wire, because then a lot of people mimic that wire for wire, and then when shit don't go right, these niggas be trying to blame me. Like, you gotta test them wires. You gotta test them wires, because these old cars, some people be rigging up stuff. Some people do all different other type of shit. So I would just recommend you power probe the wires just to be on the safe side, just to be 100% sure you actually wiring it up right, because you can burn some shit up. So let's go. Okay, YouTube. So pretty much got it all wired up. Key fobs is right here. So let's I'm pretty confident in it that I got everything wired up right. So I'm gonna tuck the wires and then we go test it out. So I done this too many times. So we end up putting the button right there where the cigarette lighter used to be, because it didn't work. So I just took it up out of there and we put the button there. So yeah, pretty much got it all wired up. So shit, let's tighten everything back up and let's get it. Let's see what we got. Okay, YouTube, so we back. Got everything tidy back up. So let's test this thing. Keys. Okay, so as y'all can see, we still have the keys, but the key ignition is eliminated only if he wants to lock the steering wheel. So let me see. Only if he wants to lock the steering wheel. He can eliminate that. We can eliminate it to where it's locked all the time, or he can do it like that if he don't feel safe. That's just a extra safety feature, I guess. But as you can see, we don't have nothing because it's totally disabled. When you step on the brake, of course that lets you know that you get power, but if you hit it, you ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's just that power going through it for once, and the button is not engaged until you used your key fobs. You got 2 key fobs. These are coded key fobs. So you got a code on every one that I sell. So basically, I put the sensor behind the button. I always put the sensor behind the button. So you just tap it anywhere in the vicinity of it, and you hear the 2 beeps, and then we'll do it again. So then you already got access to it. So the first one is pretty much your key back. The second one pretty much is when all the lights and stuff are on the dash, and then of course the radio is on. And then if you hit it again, it cuts everything off. So it cuts everything off, and it won't start up until you hit the brake first. So then let's say we hit the brake, you'll see I hit the brake, you'll see that light up, and then you just hit the button. You ain't gotta hold it, nothing. It gives it its own, it gives you a certain amount of time, but it gives you its own time lapse meter on it. So you don't have to sit there and hold the button like I see most people doing on different ones. But you pretty much, and then if you wait too long, you heard the 2 beeps, it'll disengage itself. So that way it's saying, okay, you taking too long. I don't think nobody's in the car is gonna give you that safety feature to shut it off. So then we gotta link it again, and then we hit the brake, and boom. And you can let off your brake. When you turn it back off, you hit the brake, and then you hit the button. So another thing, just for some people that be asking me, will it turn off if you accidentally hit the button? Well, let's check. Hit the button. Starts up. Give it a second to cycle through. If you let's just say you accidentally hit the button. Let's say you accidentally hit the button. So no, if you accidentally hit the button, nothing will happen. If you figure, people is like, if I'm on the highway, what if I accidentally hit the button? That's what's gonna happen. Nothing. So then to shut it off, you hit the brake. Boom. And then that's what we call a push button install. I do sell them. If anybody need one, we got plenty of them on deck. But that's that on that. And push button install is complete. One more test. You see the light go off. If you try to start it, it gives you nothing. If you try to start it, it gives you nothing until you link your key. If you don't link the key, you cannot start this car up unless you hotwire it. Link the key, hit the brake, hit the button. Boom, you out. Turn it off, hit the brake, hit the button. You out of there. So, there we go.